Hello, welcome to Needing a Meeting, y'all. Hello, Ben Baconbits. Monique, you found a friend through this channel, and I'm so happy. That is amazing. Tell us more, please. It's amazing. Cindy, Wendy, hey. How are y'all doing? Get the chat pulled up here in Restream. So there he is.
How you doing today?
Pretty good. How are you?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Can't complain.
Your volume's still the same.
There we go. Probably need to pull my mic down. But let me adjust the microphone level. But
That's pretty good.
Oh, okay. So yeah, how have you been?
Pretty good.
I mean, how's the farm doing?
The farm seems copacetic. Everybody seems calm right now, so that's always a good thing. I kept thinking I heard the donkey braying, and it turned out to be my air conditioner thing over here. That's not really conditioning much air. I'll just tell you, it's one of those mini split things, and I think it's on its way out.
Oh, well, that's good though. I mean, at least it's. Oh, actually, that's not good. Never mind.
Yeah, yeah, because it's going to be really hot here in the summer.
Yes.
This room has no climate control whatsoever, except for that mini split. That's all you get.
Yeah, and I guess you would have AC out there and nothing else. I guess you don't see swamp coolers anymore. I don't think they would do any good there anyway.
You know, I wondered if one of those would work in here, but it's kind of I don't know. I'm going to say it's maybe 700 square feet, 800 maybe.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's a decent little room, but I wondered about I was just thinking about a swamp cooler just today.
I mean, if nothing else, it would move air around, I suppose.
Right. I hope Monique comes back. I really want to hear about the friendship.
Mm-hmm. I'm also interested to hear about the apartment situation with Crystal.
I am too. It says we got 4 people watching. I'm going to drop a link, see if anybody wants to pop in. Get some new blood in here, y'all, including me. So if we can get it worked out, we may be simulcasting this Needing a Meeting to the Lifeboat.
Oh, yes, yes.
They use StreamYard, I use Restream. Yeah. So I tried going through StreamYard, and I didn't have the functionality of being able to let people in and put up comments, which that's the lifeblood of Needing a Meeting, because you know, it's people coming together and interacting and having a meeting. And you know, I like to include, there she is, I like to include everybody if I can, if I don't lose my mind.
Yeah.
Hey, Chris. How are you?
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
Okay. It's been a day.
Right on. Zen Wen, you're here. Hey. I have a weak signal here, and I am in this moment, so I can't hop on. Oh, shoot. I would love it whenever you can. So what's new? Anything new? Any developments at all?
Janet called me yesterday after we were done with the meeting.
Okay.
I think I was just so tired that I just I was so just mellow.
Good.
So when she
That's probably a
called,
good
it
thing.
was like, when she called, it was like, oh crap, what do I do? But she actually sounded really helpful this time. She was calm. She said that they were sending my request via electronically to the board members. And I said, well, didn't they have their meeting today? And she said, no, it was postponed because only 2 people could show up.
Didn't get quorum. Okay.
Oh man.
So
Postponed until when?
next week.
Okay.
Oh man.
But no, it's okay because they emailed all of my stuff to all the board members to fast track it.
Good.
And she said she should hear either today or tomorrow. So she said yes, or tomorrow or the day after. She says it usually takes about 24 hours or so for everybody to get back to her, and then she will let me know from there what's going on.
Cool.
So
Wow.
I actually got a really good feeling about it this time. It feels like this is a positive.
As you were saying it, I was getting a good feeling, Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt, but
oh, that's okay. She said that once they have the confirmation from the board, then it's just a matter of a place coming open, and then them figuring out what they need to, like, if it has to be cleaned out, if there's anything that has to be done for renovations or whatever, flooring, walls, painting.
I want to know, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I have so many questions.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
And if there's anything that needs to be done, then it's just getting a hold of contractors and getting them in to do it. So that can sometimes take a while.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about what I know right now.
Okay. So. I'm really encouraged. I'm wondering, do they have anything where they can put somebody temporarily that's in a kind of a crisis situation?
That I'm not sure. I think that would fall under our crisis center.
Okay.
They have kind of a group home thingy. I think they've got it open, but I'm not sure. But I wouldn't be able to take either cat there. So, which would be even worse.
I wonder if the person fostering Leo could take the other cat just until you get into your apartment.
I wouldn't put Patches in that situation. He's going into a home that's already got 3 or 4 other cats. And Leo is better with other cats than Patches. Patches tolerates Leo, but that's about it. But yeah, I have a good feeling about this. It sounds like there's one suite that is open. Like, at least it's vacated. We're not sure exactly what state it's in, whether they have to go in and clean it, or if floorings or painting needs to be done. So yeah, but I really got a good feeling about it. I talked to my coworker who lives there, and she said she thinks there's another person moving out soon, possibly 2 more moving out soon.
Okay.
So that's a little bit. So yeah, it feels like it's coming together. And like all of yesterday, I started to kind of have this sense of peace that things were going the way they should. And then when Janet phoned to let me know what had happened, to me that just said she's at least willing to keep me in the loop, because she's like, hey, Tara.
Hey, Krista.
She literally phoned me the day that the meeting was supposed to happen to let me know what was going on. And that's a positive.
Amazing. That's very
Yeah.
positive.
For the first time, I actually feel like Janet is working on my behalf instead of against me.
That's good.
That is very good.
So
I'm so glad
here's
to hear
hoping
that.
Here's hoping that's what it is.
Yeah. I mean, to me, that she reached out to you that's I
huge.
feel like yeah.
So a little bit more exciting. I was supposed to get my friend. I was supposed to get my friend to drop my freezer off today, but it's literally 47-kilometer-an-hour winds up here, which in doing the conversion is about 30-mile-an-hour winds.
Ooh.
So
I mean, I nearly get blown over at 15-mile-an-hour winds up here. Woo.
It's a little windier than normal. So yeah.
You reckon?
We're gonna wait until Friday because I'm on Kim's channel tomorrow at 6. So
okay, nice.
Yeah.
Right on. That's awesome.
I'm trying to remember, was it Kristen Melinda who asked for a confusion statement? I'm trying to remember. Somebody asked me about that, and I don't remember who it was. They wanted an example.
That was me.
Oh boy.
Or at least I was one. There might have been more than just me, but I did ask you at one point.
Okay. It was Kristen Melinda. Okay, I remembered somebody asked me today.
Kristen Melinda did too. Oh, today. Okay.
What a confusion statement is, try to describe this. What happens inside your brain is you feed it words that should make sense but don't. And the thing behind it is there you have like a process going on in your head, and it's likened to a file clerk. And what happens is this file clerk will take things, part of your brain will take things, it'll take them to be processed later because they're not making any sense now. Now, what this requires is a lot of confidence because you are saying idiocy. Well, I shouldn't call it idiocy. It's babbling. It's a series of words that don't make sense. And the intent behind it is to get that file clerk going. So then what you can do, and this can be used for good and bad. So intent is a lot behind it. But then what happens is while this process, it kind of lets your guard down, you can slip in little statements that you're more apt, or that a person that you're targeting would be more apt to accept. An example, I'll try not to use the same example. A good example would be, now this, and you have to say it with total confidence. You can't stutter and things like that. And it works best. It doesn't work in print because people just, okay, your brain will take it and say they typoed it, especially if they're me, the foremost expert in everything typo. But an example of this would be, what is the difference between not thinking and realizing you aren't thinking about? You can relax. Okay, now what that is what is the difference between not thinking and realizing you aren't thinking about? That really makes no sense. And so your brain will chew on that. And then the last part, you can slip in, you can relax, you can feel at peace, you can smile, you can be happy, things like that. Little suggestive statements. And if done well, they do have an effect. It's interesting, but yeah, I wouldn't have believed it unless I saw it. Even you see stage shows a lot of times where this stuff is done, and the problem with those is you will get participation bias. People figure, okay, I'm supposed to act this way. You see this in a lot in hypnosis. People will go along with hypnosis just because they don't want to be the only one still sitting up while everybody else is falling down. So you can get a high percentage of bias. But if you're doing one-on-one, you're not going to get any bias. Worst case, person looks at you like, huh? But you can tell when it's working because their eyes will start fluttering. A lot of times they'll just sit there and their eyes will kind of glaze over. And then you can say your command at the end, and they will, if it's you can relax, they will typically relax. That is a confusion statement. That's the end of my dog and pony show. I just wanted to get that out.
Do you have another example of what, like a nonsensical type sentence that would
Just
do that?
yeah. I'll use one of my other ones. Just think about what really wouldn't not change. Everything was different if nothing else did. And the thing is, it's idiocy. It takes a lot of practice to say it because it's just a string. The words that make sense, but you tie them together, they don't. It's kind of like, I was dancing to a great disco song. There is no great disco song. Sorry. It's kind of like, okay, that's a personal opinion, yeah, but yeah, that would be an example.
Hi, Henny. You're not late. You're here. That's what that is. There's no being late when you're here. Hello, Rep Curl Readiness. Good to see you guys. Well, Tara, what's happening with you?
Dude, I'm trying to keep it together. I have really horrible news.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I'm gonna try not to cry.
Okay.
I might cry.
Tears are okay.
Yeah, thank you. By the way, I was listening to what you were saying, Crystal, and I'm really happy that things are going well for you right now. I just wanted to say that to you, that it sounds like things are going well, and that brought a smile to my face. So thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
So I took my peer support specialist exam yesterday. And
okay.
To be like, I'm already certified as a peer support specialist, but this was the Medi-Cal exam so that I can bill insurance. And halfway through my exam, my alarm went off on my phone. I didn't even think about it. I reached over to turn the alarm off, and they revoked my exam because of that.
Oh no.
Yeah. So I reached out to technical support. They started a case for me.
Oh, Tara.
Yeah, it's like a case.
Okay.
They're going to be reviewing. I told them what happened. The proctor didn't even give me a chance or explain exactly why they were ending the exam. They asked me. So I want to back up for a second and just say that the software that I was testing on said that the proctor might call me during the exam. And so I wanted to have my phone close enough to where if they called me, I could answer it. But there was also a rule where you had to have the phone out of arm's length. So I put it on my desk. I had to like reach over to grab it. So I don't know exactly why they revoked my exam. Probably because I touched my phone, and that's like against policy that's what they said, that I touched my phone. And they asked if I had touched my phone after I did it. And I said, yes, my alarm went off and I had to shut it off. And they were like, yes or no, did you touch your phone? And I was like, I already told you, yes, I turned my alarm off, but I said yes. And then they said, it's against policy, and I got kicked out of the system. And then I got my score, which I had only gotten halfway through. So it was a fail. I failed the exam because of that.
Oh my God.
Yep. So like I said, I called customer support. The lady I talked with at the testing company was incredibly kind and apologetic and empathetic. She was like, I'm so sorry on behalf of Pearson View. This should not have happened to you. So she started a case, and it's being reviewed. They're going to be looking, I don't even know if I said this already, but they're going to be looking at the video and listening to the audio and looking at the chat and determining whether or not they can give me a courtesy retest.
Oh, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, it's not, it felt like the end of the world, but it's not.
Yeah, of course it did.
It's not, because I can retest. It's just I might have to pay to retest because my stupid alarm went off.
How much does it cost? If you
don't... $150. Yeah.
Ooh.
Right. And I just moved, so I'm not exactly Miss Moneybags right now. And I only have until August. I only have till August because I have 1 year. So
I wonder if they review your case in your favor, would that do away with having to pay to take the test?
Yeah, if they could. The gal on the phone tried to give me a courtesy reschedule, is what they call it, yesterday while we were on the phone, so that I could reschedule my exam immediately. But she, from her like supervisor or someone, she had to talk to somebody, and they said they can't do that until they review the video and the audio and all of that, the chat. So it's all there. She did give me an email address to email with my case number so that I could explain in my own words what happened. But I felt like she was advocating for me, and I think she included everything in the notes. But I sent an email just in case, expressing my frustration with what had happened, and also owning what happened, like saying, I'm truly apologetic for the misstep. This could have happened to anybody. It was a knee-jerk reaction to turn off my phone. It's clear if the video looks like this. So you'll hear the alarm go off. I look over. I had to reach over for the phone, click the button, and then come back. So like that's what they're going to see on the video. So it's just incredibly stressful. It's incredibly frustrating. And I feel like it's not fair.
Yeah, I mean, especially they tell you this
it does feel that
this
way.
guy could call you. I mean,
Exactly. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say that same thing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So if the guy had have called and you picked up the phone, what would that have done?
I think that would have been acceptable if they were calling me on the phone.
I guess
I'm so sorry, Tara. That's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And especially in today's day and age, like you would hope that there's an exception, especially if they heard an alarm, because people, I have alarms set every day for 3:30, 4, and 4:30 to be here, so like hopefully they will make that courtesy for you.
Yeah. I hope so too. I think thank God I have therapy on Tuesday nights. And so I had a therapy session like 2 hours after this happened. I was devastated. I was like not okay for those 2 hours.
Sure.
No.
But my therapist said she thinks that it was probably somebody that was new and who was doing things by the book. And the rule is that you're not to touch your phone during the test. And that's what they asked. Did you touch your phone? And I'm like, I had to tell the truth. I was prompt with my response. I was honest. And that's what happened.
My mom had to do one of those at-home testing things for her job. And she couldn't get everything to work right, and then she did, and then her computer shut down on her, and she had to. Now hers was different. She had to pay to retest it, but in some ways it's nice to have that option, and in some ways I think it might be more stressful to have that option. They should have been. How would you think to turn off an alarm, especially if it's one that you just have on your phone? Like I wouldn't have thought.
I wouldn't be there.
To have done that.
And even with, I have iPhone, even with my phone's on silent, the alarm's not silent. So it's like I had it in silent mode, but it didn't
Yeah.
matter for, and it sucks too because that alarm was to remind me to go volunteer. I only volunteer every other Tuesday, and it was an off Tuesday. Like I didn't volunteer yesterday, so I didn't even need that alarm to be on, but there's no way an iPhone to program alarms to go off every other week. You can do that in the calendar, but you can't do that with the alarms, at least on my iPhone. I have an old one.
Well, you think about it, even on vibrate, given those parameters, where this person might call, okay, your phone's on vibrate. I need to check that to see if it's the professor, and you come to find out,
Right.
you get telemarketer or something.
Totally.
You touch your phone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I included that point in my email to them that the testing software tells you that the proctor might contact you during the exam and to answer your phone. So I pointed that out and just used that as my justification as to why my phone was not within arm's reach. I couldn't reach it like this. I had to do one of these things, but I just hope that these people have some sort of like common sense and empathy about reviewing my case, and that they're not like ridiculous about it. It's like it's a test for a peer support specialist, for crying out loud. Like I'm not trying to cheat on a peer support specialist test. Like who would try to cheat? But
you're not going for a doctorate or something, but
right. And I thought about testing in person because my signal at the last place I lived was incredibly weak. I didn't pass the system test to be able to take the test from home. But here at my new place, I do qualify to take it at home. But the testing sites are an hour away from me, over an hour. So I thought to myself, well, I'll save myself 2.5 hours in the car, be able to eat right before the exam. It's a 2.5, almost 3 hour exam. So,
Wow. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm so sorry. I agree with life's good here, though. I feel in my heart it will work out, sending positive vibes. Yeah.
Thank you.
And I know how important it is to you. Like, that's
Yeah.
another thing. Like, you had studied and you had worked really hard. And hopefully, like you said, they'll have some common sense. They'll have some logic. You'll be able to take it again and, like, take it from home. But I'm so sorry.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, I have to pay $150 to take the exam again. I think it's more just like, it's hard because my actions led to these consequences, and that makes it hard to kind of deal with. But you're right, it was the most important thing. I've been studying for it for a really long time.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Well, and it was a natural response too. I mean, in this day and age, it's not like, I don't know how old you are, but like when I was young, we didn't have cell phones. Like you had to get up and walk across and get the stupid cord that was 12 feet long that was completely stretched out. And in this day and age, people don't go anywhere without their phones, and you would think they would know what an alarm sounded like. I mean, that's just going to be a natural thing. I'm sure that this is going to work out good for you. I agree with life's good. It'll be and try not to beat yourself up too much because I mean, it was your action, but it was your reaction. It wasn't your action. It was your reaction. And there's a big difference.
Completely reflexive. Yeah.
Totally.
So it's not like, you intentionally with maliciousness in your heart did this. It was a reaction that has been granted to you for however long you've had home. So, try to be gracious with yourself. Oh, God. Sarah, I love you. I'm going to try to get back on here, but I'll be right back.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, like she was saying, it's a reaction. It's a script. your brain uses scripts. That's what neural pathways do. It says, I know how to drive. So your brain, a lot of times you'll go out to your car, you'll start it, you'll do everything. You won't remember it because it's a script that's running in your head because your brain's saving on processing power to process. What am I going to do? What am I going to get? What's on my list of things? What do I need to buy? Salt, whatever. It's remembering that. It's forgetting the other things. I am so sorry, but yeah,
I am too.
I'm holding out hope because this is. I understand why. I'm taking it personal, and it's not me. So, what's your point?
Yeah. Life's Good says, think about it this way. Part of what is tested is patience, reaction, and problem solving under pressure. Bravo.
Thanks. I wish I
Yeah.
got extra credit for my ability to navigate the process and report it and get a case number and all of that, because I was definitely under pressure for sure.
Yeah, it's so easy to go into your
Yeah.
reactive mind and just close everything and like those such and such and not. But yeah, that was good thinking on your part.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you get to plead your whole case to anybody yet?
Yeah. I told everything to the woman on the phone, and she documented it. She did try to get me a courtesy retest immediately, and she apologized a few times that this happened. So that makes me hopeful. She also gave me an email address so that I could report what happened in my own words, which I don't know that I did highlight that this could have happened to anybody, that it was a reaction to turn my phone off, and I didn't even think about it. I just reached to turn it off. I don't know that I highlighted that enough, that it's, like what Ben was saying, that it's a program in the brain. But I did highlight the fact that the test introduction tells you that the proctor might reach out to you via phone. So I was sure to include that so that they weren't like, well, why did, because you're supposed to have your phone out of reach. And originally I had my phone on my bookshelf, but then when I read that part of the exam that they might call, it's like, well, if they want me to stay in the viewfinder, I can't get up from my seat. How am I supposed to answer a call if it's across the room? So I put it within, a far reach. And
yeah, if they don't want anybody touching their phone, period, since they made such a big thing of that, don't have a proctor call during a test.
Right. Yeah. Had it been across the room, I don't know what I would have done had it been across the room and the alarm. Like, would I have thought to get permission? It's like, how old are we here? I have to get permission to turn a freaking alarm off. Like, I'm an independent thinker. I'm self-sufficient. Like, I don't think to ask permission to turn a freaking alarm off.
Yeah.
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 Wow. Yeah, that you talk about a confusion statement. That part right there is a good example. These two seem to be mutually exclusive, and wow.
I'm hoping, best case scenario, they say, perhaps my therapist is right, and they say this person was new, they were following policy, but this isn't exactly what we were trying to say. Hopefully they update the policy so that it doesn't say touching your phone, but like engaging with the use of the phone or something like that.
Yeah, and you could tell that's probably the spirit behind the rule. They want to make sure you're not looking up answers.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think upon review of the video and the audio, they'll see that what I said is true, and hopefully let me retest for free. But the stress of it, it's like it's not been fun. It's been really hard to deal with, actually.
Well, of course, and it goes without saying, please let us know when you find out anything.
Of course.
Yeah.
I was embarrassed to even come on here. Like, I didn't even want to come and tell y'all what happened.
Oh,
It's no
don't
reflection on
ever feel that way.
It's no reflection on you. You didn't do anything
No.
wrong. You're
No,
not
you
perceived
didn't.
as having done anything wrong.
Yeah.
It's not even
Yeah.
embarrassing. It's
Right. It's just one of those freaks of nature, wrong place, wrong time, alarm bell going off. That's it. That's all there is to it. And hopefully that's what they're going to see.
Tara,
Yeah.
can you do something with me? Put your right hand on your left shoulder.
Okay, I can do this. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what I can do anymore, but
Put your left hand on your right shoulder and squeeze. That's my hug to you.
oh, thank you, Crystal. Thanks everyone for being so supportive.
Yeah. Blackhead, if you
You'll
start
get
crying,
okay.
I may start crying. Been one of those days. You know, I need to know how you. I want to ask Blackhead how his mom is doing. How is your mom, Blackhead?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry about what happened. Yes, Tara. One's for Tara for sure.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like now a message just came through on my phone, and I'm like, don't check it, don't check it.
Hey, Stacey.
Hi guys.
How are you?
I had a bit of a moment. I apologize. I'm late. I needed to kind of get some emotions out with one of the social workers here. So I don't know. Everything just kind of hit really quick this afternoon. I'm at the point where I want to run away. I want to run away from it all. I want to go home.
Oh no. Oh.
But I know that it's because court's next Friday. I know that it's anxiety. I know that this is my pattern, you know? This is my pattern, and I can recognize that and I can understand it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also changing houses, the rules regarding me going away is completely different. So with the other house, they had made an exception that like right after court that I could run away for a week. And here it's only 2 days that I could be gone for. So running away to where I want to would just not be possible. But we might have come up with a solution. It'll just be 1 day less, but not a great big deal. Now all of the planning and all of the figuring of that out is going to have to happen. I just can't think about it right now. But I'm at the runaway point, and unless I get to take a moment to be a place where it's familiar to me, and that's how I'm able to recharge my battery.
Right.
And I tried everything after the last court date, and it just didn't work. And until I was able to go somewhere that I knew, that was when I was able to recharge a little bit. So I'm trying to figure out how to be able to do that again after this next one.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm okay. It's just, there's always a lot. And I know I come on here and I'm smiley and I'm laughing and I'm trying to do all of that, you know, and I positive reframing, it helps so much, but this is the behind the scenes of it all in my head.
Yeah.
It's okay for you to fall apart.
Yeah, and I was falling apart before you came on, Stasia, so you are not alone. I was crying earlier.
Okay. So this is the cry episode.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
it is.
I hope you're okay, Tara.
I hope you're okay too, Stasia. I'm gonna be okay. I know I'm gonna be okay. Well, I don't know that I'm gonna be okay, but I am feeling better now that I've processed what's gone on. And in your case, like I know how stressful it is to move from one place to another, and there's probably, I don't know, but everywhere that I stayed there was a time limit, and I never knew how much time I had at the place and where I was going to go next. And that really wore on me.
Oh man.
And you just went through a move. And so, it's,
and I don't want to bother them with the rules and all of this. And the other house really knew me and they knew the situation. Like, they offered the exception. I didn't ask for it. So
and
I know that I need to advocate for myself in this situation.
Yes.
And I need to be able to speak up and say what I need.
Yes.
It's just really hard to keep advocating for myself. And like I just said to the social worker, I said, it doesn't matter what step I'm on. One step can't just happen easily. I feel like because it's me, like, it's something that should just happen very easily for somebody. It's going to be 19 extra steps for me.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing is straightforward. Nothing is easy. Every step has been a challenge. So I know I'm going to be okay. I know the situation is going to work itself out.
Yes.
It is just overwhelming sometimes.
Yep.
I can't even imagine, Stasia. I don't know how you keep that smile on your face every day and here. I mean, honestly, and I hate that it's hit you all at once like that.
You know what? I should have expected it. I should have expected it, but I also just didn't expect a friend of mine to reach out when they did. And then I hadn't thought about them at all in like a week. And then they reached out and it was like, oh my God, now all I want to do is run away because they're a part of the familiar place. They're a part of like how I'm able to recenter myself. You know?
Yeah, after being put through the ringer, I get it. After being put through the ringer like you have, you need a space to decompress. And
So I'm going to start taking a look at rental cars, see if I can even afford it. Because that's really like the closest train station is about 45 minutes away from here, not like the other place where it was in the same town. Okay. So rental car is really the option. So now I've got to take a look at a rental car, see if I can afford that.
Okay.
And then I would have 4 days that I could, one day would be travel, but I would have 3 days where I could just try and relax. Just relax.
Yeah.
And selfishly soak up all of the animal and human cuddles that I possibly could.
Well, question, if you are just, I'm having one of those days too, like all of you.
Wow.
But I was going to say, if we can help, I mean, money's really tight, but if I can help you a little bit to do what will nurture you, I want to help you. So
I really appreciate that.
If I can, I mean, if you find it's a little more than you want, would you reach out to me?
Okay. Thank you, Rebecca.
Would it be helpful if I just sent it to you? You have Venmo?
It would have to be PayPal because I'm Canadian. We were trying to figure that out with Steve's memorial money as well. Because I couldn't send much, but I wanted to send at least a little bit. So PayPal is the only way that I've figured out how to get money from the US to Canada.
I don't know how to do that, but can we text later? Because I'd like to help you. I mean, even if it's a little bit, even if it doesn't, I just want to give you an option if I can.
Thank you. Yeah. And you know what? I will ask you to reserve the money for yourself until I know how much it's going to cost me. That's just my own personal anxiety and my acceptance of help situation. I need to be able to plan it before asking for it, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Thank you. And I really appreciate it. I really, really do. I'm sorry, guys. I usually have the chat up on my computer and all of that. I don't
There's
tonight.
a lot of love for you in the chat right now.
Thank you, everybody.
Wow. Blackhead. Oh,
and I was going to say, Kara, I get the long test thing and it was, most people don't know this, but I was Series 7 and 63 licensed at one point. So I had the same license as a stockbroker because I was a sales assistant. And the Series 7 is a 6-hour test.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember all the stuff for doing that and how big of a deal it is and all the studying and all the other stuff. And I admit I was late, so I don't know everything that happened, but please know I love you and I care about you and I'm sending you good vibes.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Can I give
the same your way, Rebecca? Whatever you've got going on today too. We're
just,
you know what, talking with Christy earlier, she reminded me, because I'm just getting into this whole astrology, spirituality thing right now. I know that there is some sort of power in the universe. I just don't know what it is. And I'm figuring that out. It's a learning process for me. And she's just reminded me, you know, it's till the 25th of January that everything is going to be energy-wise wonky. And if that helps anybody else, because I'm telling you, it helps me a little bit, just understanding that until the 25th, there's going to be some wonky energies, and it has to do with the eclipse of Mercury being in retrograde, bunch of different things kind of colliding with one another right now. And then I joked, of course, because I have to make a joke of everything. I'm like, does it have to be the day before my important day? Like, could it not give me 2 days? Like, just 2 days, that'd be great. But if it helps anybody else, this is what I understand is happening in the universe.
This filing for bankruptcy an option. This has helped me a lot. I don't know why that's funny, but it is.
Terry, you were getting ready to say something?
I was just going to give Rebecca and Stasia a quick overview of what happened, but
thank you. Yes.
It seems like Resin has a good comment here. I don't know if you want to read it, Carol, or if you want me to.
Is it the one I have highlighted here?
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to drag anyone down with me today. Going back to mixing and making, maybe I will snap out of it or I won't. Matrix, feel better. I'm so sorry you've been going through all that.
Yeah, and also I didn't want to come on and tell y'all what happened with me, but it is making me feel better sharing and receiving support. And that's what we're here for, is to support each other and to share hard things. Sometimes we're sharing exciting things, but you're not alone. Like, there's 3 of us on the bottom of the screen that are going through it right now. And on the top of the screen, I'm sure people are going through stuff too, but they have smiles on their faces.
Yeah.
I feel like usually I'm on the top half of that with the smile and the support, even if something isn't perfect. I can't fake it today, or not even fake it isn't the right word, because I'm not I can't put a happy face on today.
Mm-hmm.
That's okay.
I don't have it in me.
That's okay.
Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah.
It's nothing. This has been going on for kind of a week and a half, and I'm struggling because we've got some training and some other stuff going on at work, and then they're changing our roles, and it feels like I've been at my job for 17 going on 18 years. Never thought I'd work in one place for as long as I have been here. Mm-hmm. And I'm extremely thankful. And it's the kind of joke is it's the golden handcuffs, because I've got really pretty good health insurance. And I couldn't go anywhere that didn't have that, because I'm using my health insurance a lot right now.
Yeah.
But everything's changing, and then of course they're going to change our roles, and we're going to have this or that, and stuff has been going on and off for, the last couple of months. But I don't know why, but this week it really hit. And then there's some anger, and because of the training and how much energy that takes, my brain doesn't respond the way it used to. I don't know how much of that is I'm getting older, how much of it is long COVID. but everything is so hard. And then when I'm done at the end of the day, I feel like I've nothing left to give anyone. I don't even feel like I have anything to give left to the cat. And I'm feeding them and I'm getting some love, but I just kind of feel like I have nothing left. And last night I stayed up a little too late, but I'm like, okay, maybe I can fondle some fabric. I have too many UFOs already, because there was a stretch where I couldn't make anything. So let's cut a project because we're working on, you do what your brain can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm going to start another project because it's more interesting. And I'm kind of like, well, maybe this will make me feel better. But
Yeah,
I don't need to start another project. I've got all these unfinished ones. But I'll be okay. It's just,
I know.
It's a lot.
really
Dang it.
overwhelming.
That is a
Well,
yeah.
a lot.
Let me ask you something though. Is there, and this is ignorant speaking, you seem, just from what little you've talked about, you seem to enjoy the starting part.
I do.
That seems to be. Is there anything wrong with doing that, with starting another project just for the therapy? I mean,
That's a very good point. Other than the judgment I know I will get from at least a couple of my friends that don't understand that. Because yet there is, I mean, I can kind of understand why, but I'm realizing that, like, this one it's a quilt along, and I'm not into sewing clothes anymore, but it's a group and it's sewing with other people, and it's straight stitches. So it's, it is harder to sew a straight line than most people realize. But getting your 1/4 inch seam is really hard. So but my brain can hyper focus on that, and it kind of takes me to a different place. But then if I get bored with it, and I have friends that are like, you've got too many things. You have too much fabric. You've got, I just
cut the judgment, people. Cut the judgment.
But
That's what I'm saying.
Right. They don't have to live with you. It's not their. How is it even their business?
Rebecca, you can never have enough fabric.
That's my opinion too. But
You can never have enough yarn.
now, Crystal, I do need to step in for a second. I can't remember if you had heard Rebecca explain one of her situations, and she has a tiny little fabric store in her apartment.
I do.
From all of the fabric that she has purchased.
I did 2 very large orders from So Yeah, and I don't know if you don't know fabric, you don't know who they are, but I did 2 orders that got out of control. And it's when I had lower expenses, and it was when I was really early on in the COVID process. So I had, maybe 4 months after. So I kind of get where my brain thought that like $2,000 wasn't weird. Don't ask me. Don't ask me, my brain. But I'm still paying for that $2,000. So that really wasn't as good of a deal. But so I did stuff like that. So I don't know, but I might have as much as 1,000 yards of fabric in my apartment. And realize,
1,000?
huh? What did you say?
1,000?
Yeah, you still got. There's still plenty of room for more.
Rebecca, after my mom passed away, I am the one that got all of her fabric. I had a huge trunk that we used to have all our toys in growing up, and it was probably a good 5 feet by 3 feet by about 3 feet deep.
Oh, wow.
It was full to the brim of fabric. I also had another trunk, a bit smaller, that was full of fabric. Plus, I think there was probably about 12 to 14 of the large totes full of fabric. Plus.
See, if you thought you were a fabric hoarder, Rebecca, here's a life lesson. You can go farther.
My
There's
mother
probably
had
plenty of people who have more.
There's a lot of people who have more. Yes.
Yeah. My mom had a whole sewing room, and except for the washer and the dryer, all along the walls was boxes of fabric.
I laugh, but I also got rid of a lot of like the clothing type stuff and stuff that I'd gotten for sale before my move, because I knew I was moving to less space. And I wasn't good. Like, I had a dining room in my last apartment, and the dining room was the sewing space. Well, now it's got to fit in the rest of my apartment because I don't have that. But you did make me laugh. Thank you.
I'm glad. I gave most of the fabric away, so.
Sell them as kits.
Yeah.
You make how to make money off of it. That's for sure.
Yeah.
But the problem is I'd have to figure out the kit and then figure out how to sell that, and I don't know.
Facebook Marketplace.
Etsy,
Facebook Marketplace. You know, any of these little.
It would be work.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And that's work you don't want to put in right now. I can hear that. I can hear that.
I have the extra.
No, I don't. I'm sorry. No, even my crochet has kind of been put to the side for the last couple of, almost a week now. I just don't have the energy for that. I needed to find a different creative outlet. So digital art has been something I've been figuring out in the last week. It's been helping a lot because I don't need to do much other than like drag and drop. That's it. Just look at images and drag and drop. And it's the simplicity in my brain that helps it. Whereas the crochet, I'm constantly designing. Every stitch, I'm trying to figure out, is this in the right spot? Because I find a pattern I like, but then I modify it. I can't just follow the pattern, apparently. I don't know why. I always have to modify it. So, Tara, I'm sorry. We all kind of jumped in a little bit here, but I want to know what's going on with you too.
Well, in a nutshell, I had my peer support specialist, for Medi-Cal test. I'm already certified as a peer support specialist, but this was to have the ability to bill Medi-Cal. My test was yesterday, and halfway through my test, my phone alarm went off. I reached over to turn it off, and the proctor revoked my exam because of that. So I failed it. Yeah. I started a case. I don't want to go too much into it. We've already talked about it, but I did reach out to the testing company and reported what happened, and they created a case, and the lady tried to get me a courtesy retest, but they're going to have to review the video, the audio, and the chat to determine if they can give me a retest. If not, I can take it again. So it's not the end of the world. But it's going to cost me $150 to take it again.
Well, all the best energies your way for them to reassess the situation. And I do remember in your live the other night, I think it was a fellow peer support worker, maybe somebody that you had gone to school with, had said that they had taken it in person versus online. Is that an option for you?
It is an option. Yeah, I think you're talking about Scott. He's actually in Minnesota, so he just found me on YouTube. But so yes, the answer is yes. I can take it in person, but the nearest testing site is over an hour away from me, and so really, I didn't want to spend the time driving. And my signal, like my system, checked out. I meet all the technical requirements now to be able to take it online. So I am just hoping that they decide to like have pity on me, or not pity, but like have
the understanding.
Well, see the situation for what it is.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you're not asking for a lot here.
You weren't trying to cheat.
No.
Look at your phone to cheat.
No. And I didn't even think about it. Like what I could have done was told the proctor, like in the chat, my alarm is going off. Can I have permission to turn it off? That's what they expected me to do. But
Okay.
you know, there was no reminders or anything to turn off the phone on silent or to have it to turn your alarms off. And I might follow up with an email and ask the question, if this would have happened in person, if someone's alarm in person would have gone off and a person reached down to turn that off, would their exam have been revoked?
Yeah.
Well,
That's a good
I
question.
doubt it.
You said that there's something that in the list that they potentially can call you.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
How do you know if you're supposed to look at your phone or you're not supposed to look at your phone?
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, there was a note in the Stasia, so that you're caught up. There was a note in the instructions for the exam that the proctor might call me during the exam. So it's like, well, you tell me that I have to have the phone out of arm's reach, which it was out of arm's reach. I had to like lean over to get it, but they could consider that arm's reach. But I don't think that's why they revoked the exam. I think the exam was revoked because I touched my phone.
yeah, it just sounds like they're just being automatons at this point and just running through their little script, to use that word again.
Yeah.
But to be really childish with this, I'm going to take it down to that level because that's what I do. Is there any coincidence this guy's called a proctor when you have proctologist? I'm sorry, I took it. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. I'm actually deep down, I'm happy.
Yeah.
How about that?
No, and you know what? Ben. That's really interesting that you say that script, because that word has come up now. You know, this script that they're following, and then now the term actors, like actors in my situation, are making decisions for me. So it's very interesting how these words are coming up. This script that has to be followed by institutions. And all of the people following that script, they are the actors. And then it's that actor, how they're going to be in that situation, how they're going to act in that situation. Right? I'm sorry, this is all of this little stuff just connected in my head.
Yeah, and that came from an earlier conversation we were having where, and it's on the same vein that we all use our brain, because we like to think Scientology says this, that our brains are like all powerful. And it's like, when you really get looking at it, they're not. They're actually very inefficient. So what happens is our brain will take stuff that we've done and it'll run it in automatic mode, a script. But people do that as well because they just have their standard little thing they follow. And tech support's a great example of this, Rebecca.
Yep.
Did you reboot your computer? Of course I rebooted my computer.
You don't know the number of people who haven't.
Were you thinking
I'm sure.
thoughts about it? Like, no, I want to kick it because that computer's not going to kick itself, doggone it.
I just threaten computers with glasses of water, and that seems to work.
Actually, I talk nicely and tap the monitor, and that works for me.
See, but you're way nicer than most of us.
I
a little bit of that. I think you guys are nice too.
I wanted to do more than tap my monitor yesterday, but I didn't.
Oh, I bet.
So. I bet you did.
I'm really sorry that happened, Tara.
So did they stop you in the middle of it, or did they let you take the whole thing and then tell you?
Nope. They stopped me immediately when that happened, and I just got kicked out. The program just shut down. And then I got my results in an email. They emailed me the results so I could see that I failed, which was a nice touch.
Thanks so much, guys. Thanks.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And Stasia, I reciprocate the empathy right back to you, and Rebecca, everyone in the chat who's having a difficult time today. You're not alone.
Yeah.
Well, I do.
And those energies are going to be funky for a little bit. I'm just going to bank on trying to remember that.
I would like to. That isn't easy.
Can you repeat that, Ben? You cut out there for a minute.
Oh, I would like to congratulate you all on keeping your thinking brain engaged in these situations, because that isn't easy. When you're feeling stress, your brain's going, no, oh no, this is after me, they're after me, and this is all gone. Forget it. It's over. Blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah. All these negative thoughts. And yeah. But yeah, you guys did good. I'm proud.
I appreciate that, Ben. And I'll be honest, some of that is the information you've given me and the understanding of neuroscience. Because if I didn't have actual answers as to why this was happening to me, I'm the person who just falls into that then. I would fall into that emotional brain a bit.
Well, you reminded me that because we can't multitask. As humans, we cannot multitask. So if you're able to do multiple things at once, it's because you've done it so often. Your brain can just run a tape and do it without you paying attention.
Yeah. Yeah, and a way you know, and that happens a lot when we're driving. You'll remember trips that you've driven, but if somebody honks a horn at you, that's novelty. That will force your brain back into, whoa, okay, now I'm processing real time. And it's much harder on your brain than people realize. We're always, we think you're just relaxing, sitting there talking. Your brain's still chewing all this stuff, and you know, I'm going to file this for later. I'm going to do this with this, and
Oh yeah.
Tara's background's always interesting, and I wonder what the donkey's doing.
Yeah, right. Has he been in a house yet today? Basically. But like, no, but exactly what you're saying there, Ben. Like last night, I was after recovery management. So recovery management 6 until 7:30 on Tuesday. I got a half hour to relax, get a tea, and then was right into a house meeting. By the time that house meeting started at 8 o'clock, I could have gone to bed. I could have. But then it was an exercise that they needed us to do. And it was like, you know, try and think positively and let's see this. And it was 19 questions I needed to answer. And then my brain just started going again. Like I could have fallen asleep at 8 o'clock last night, but reality is going into that meeting, it was 1 a.m. by the time I actually fell asleep.
Yeah, that's, especially for you, you seem to be an extrovert. Being in a group environment's going to recharge your batteries. I hear you. I'm in the same boat. I'm actually much lower extroverted, but I can't hang around a group of people and then go to bed. I will be up till 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
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 And especially for something like that, I appreciate the frustration that must cause. I had to go through Covey. Don't get me wrong. There's parts of the Covey management system. I think there's parts of it that are, this is valid, but I'm sorry. Let's turn that frown upside down. Eat me. Let's build a people pyramid. That will show how we cooperate. I got a better idea for you. It involves a piece of hickory and me doing something with it to you.
Oh, Ben.
But yeah, I hear you. I still go there when I get my emotional brain involved. Yeah.
Well,
It's something, it's a muscle that has to be practiced.
Yep. And eventually it'll become muscle memory for us after we've done it so many times and after we've tried to rewrite the script in our head or, you know, create a new neural pathway that is going to be just as thick so that the other one can go down a little bit. It's life's a process, and it would be nice if it could just be really easy for like a week, just a week. That's all I'm asking. That's all I'm asking is a week.
How about 1 day a week minimum?
See, that sounds wonderful.
1 day a week that was just easy to make up for nothing else. We could look forward to that day that's really easy.
And you want to hear the funny thing, Rebecca, is I started saying, okay, I'm going to take Sundays off. So when I have Wee Man, I'll have half of the Sunday for me. And then the other Sunday, I'll have fully for me. And then the move happened just after I said that. And now it's like having to reschedule my life. So this week has kind of been a bit of an uproar because I moved last Wednesday. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday was just a lot, trying to reintegrate myself into a different environment. And then this week I can say I've stumbled and stumbled and fallen, so that I can at least next week know this is the time that I need to take for me. This is where I can actually do that. It's just relearning when I can do all of that. Like today I had to completely disconnect myself and go for a walk. I think I was gone for about 2 hours, just my headphones in. I found a cute little, actually I'll post it on the Needing a Meeting group. I meant to send them to you earlier too, Carol, so I'll post them on the Needing a Meeting group so they can be seen. But I found a park where there's actually historical meaning behind it. There's people who actually died on that piece of land. There was a war there. Yeah. It's a very historical town that I'm in currently, and it's beautiful. It's really, really beautiful. So just to be able to turn off and say, I'm going to take a few pictures, you know, I'm going to go get a cup of coffee. By the way, the coffee shop that I love puts pink lids on the cup. Pink lids. That means my sunglasses, my running shoes, and my coffee match when I go out now.
It's the little thing.
So,
it is. It's the little thing, isn't it?
Yeah. And then, so, I feel all fancy when I'm like walking around with my pink, you know, reflective sunglasses and my pink coffee, and feels good. But I'll post those on the Facebook page. But like, there's a church that's 135 years old that I got a picture of today.
Oh wow!
It's stunning, absolutely stunning. So I think I'll enjoy the picture opportunities in the area. You know, get to know the history of it. I don't know if anybody else is the same way, but you put me in a new environment, and I almost have a form of agoraphobia for a while. I don't want to go out. I don't want to figure out the new area. It takes a lot for me to get past that, to say, I can go do this. Even just to find a convenience store for cigarettes, and I'm sorry if anybody struggles with cigarettes. I don't mean to trigger anybody. But for me to go out and find a convenience store, like I picked up enough packs at the previous town so I didn't have to leave for a few days at this one. Like the anxiety, I knew I wouldn't be able to do it. So,
you know, there's a teaching I've been trying to get, and I'm having moderate success with it. But you view people different ways. One of the things is like, people are broken, for example. And that is saying when somebody acts mean to you, you just say, you know, in your psyche, they're just buttheads, you know, blah blah blah. And one of the things that we're trying to, my group, we're trying to aspire to is the thought people are reasons. And it's not a very good apt description, but it's meaning when you're cut off in traffic by a guy driving one of those D-bag trucks, you know, it's oversized, it's got the testicles, he cuts you off, and then he flips you off. To then, and
the gold-plated ones at that.
To then say, okay, I'm not going to get that because this person, I am not seeing. You say to yourself, I'm not seeing everything that went into this person. I'm not seeing the insecurities they have, and maybe the reasons why they are naturally caustic like this. Okay, I am not there. When somebody does that to me, one finger salute out the window, right back at you, buddy. You know,
I'm not always very nice, so there are moments when there's something like that happens, and I'm kind of like, I'm sorry, your penis is so small.
To hear Rebecca say that is amazing.
I did that once in front of my sister, and she was like, because she's in the call. You know, like a guy in a sports car acting all obnoxious, or the guy, I don't get the whole testicles hanging and the big. If you're not living out in the nowhere, you don't need a 4-wheel drive truck with the lift kit and the whole. You just don't.
I'm not always very nice. It's something I
Sometimes.
struggle with, so yeah.
Yeah.
Trying.
Actually, Kristen, your comment that her comment, we're all broken. If we're lucky, we find people whose broken pieces fit together with our own.
Yep.
And that hits home so much because it's like the boat and here, and you know, these are the places where I found my tribe. These are the places where I found people that fit my broken pieces.
Yep.
And then it brings me a form of gratefulness, because today when I post the pictures, there's a tree that's fallen. And the top, you can tell that it's been probably 2 or 3 weeks since it fell, but the top of it's still alive. And the first thing that came to my head was broken, but still alive. And that's how I feel about every single one of us. We're all got our own broken pieces, but all of us are still striving for the next step of life. So thank you. It started a little ADHD pathway for me there, Kristen. Thank you.
Love it. Love it. Love it. I love it.
And I'm very thankful for you all, because you made me laugh, which I needed, even though I'm
thankful for you too.
Down. But thank you.
Yeah.
Right on.
But just once. I know what it would do. It's not good conflict resolution. Just once, I want to tell somebody, son, if I want to hear any crap out of you, I'll squeeze your head. Just once, I want to be able to say that.
And I feel like you've got big enough hands that if you said it to the right person, they'd be terrified.
Thank you, people, for letting me. Thank you, people, for letting me decompress.
Yeah.
I do need to go. I get to deal with some of my most favorite people in the whole world. I get to deal with federal employees.
Oh my
God. It's all going to be fine. We're all going to get along.
Is that a pile of poop?
That's
I keep them around. Yep. I wish I had some deep thought I could convey upon it, but no. It's there. Obvious reason.
I feel like the poop emoji never comes along with a deep thought. If it's put in a sentence, it's not a deep thought anyways.
It's starting out the bottom and it's going downhill from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do hope you all have the most awesome day. You are all wonderful people. And
you too, Ben.
You too. You all give them what for. And next time, Tara, this crap comes up, you just let them know who it is you are.
You too, Ben.
And, well, never mind. Try not to use the proctor. Yeah. You can think it. How about that? You guys take care. Have a great day.
You too, Ben.
Bye.
Bye, Ben.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
You, Ben.
I forgot he had the poop emoji, to be honest. That was perfect.
Did you know that didn't start out to be a poop emoji?
No,
it actually
was ice cream, wasn't it?
It started out as ice cream.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh my
yeah,
God.
That's my ADHD brain. I'll answer and then I'll think about it and be like, no, actually, I've got the answer in there somewhere. It's somewhere in there.
The only reason I know that is because we had the little emojis that you could sew on.
Yeah.
And it said ice cream. And I'm like, ice cream? I don't remember any ice cream appliques. And then when I found out which one it was, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I feel like lots of those emojis probably went through like 4 or 5 stages. No.
and they had to make it brown and not the light, not the ice cream color.
Yeah, no, that
Chocolate
was their
brown.
chocolate idea.
They
That was their
had
chocolate
to
idea.
do it that way.
Yeah.
That is. Am I freezing up, you guys?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think you might be freezing a little bit there, Carol.
For some reason, I'm not hearing. Yeah, I'm not catching a lot of the. I know why. My computer's in the sun.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It's getting a little warm, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I've decided this is probably my new hairdo now for a while, and I know for me pigtails are like super kiddish in my brain. Okay, and I understand that it might not be that way for everybody, but for me they're super kiddish. But my head was really starting to hurt with the one braid down the one side. Like I would start getting migraines by the end of the day, and if I wear a bun or a ponytail, the top of my head, and then I'll like it's like half the day I'm with a migraine. But I also don't want to cut my hair. So
I'll just say it. Pigtails are very cute. Go with it. Be you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Agreed.
Yep, I'm just
super cute.
Thank you. I'm just gonna enjoy it. Whatever, right? We live
Yes,
once.
they are.
We live
They are
once.
very cute. Yeah.
There's a couple ladies that I work with that quite often wear pigtails,
Okay.
and they're in their 60s. So who cares
I'm
what
gonna
age
rock
you are?
it. I might also take a look at some finger tattoos in the near future. We'll see. I need that little bit of like tattoo sting.
So the cats have made it so that I can't even work on my crocheting.
You're trapped.
Yeah. It's not helping because I need to get this blanket done. Baby's due at the end of May. And if my niece does the same as the majority of, well, her mom, every one of my sister-in-law's kids came at least 4 weeks early.
Uh-oh.
So if she goes by that, she could pop anytime now.
Wow.
Okay.
How much more do you have to do?
I'm there. I have to do all the way to the top.
Okay. You got a ways.
I'm about 1/5 done.
Okay.
Yeah, just about.
Go really fast, so it's very cool to watch.
Oh, how good is that?
Doing your thing is awesome.
Oh, the picture?
Yeah, once I get in the rhythm, as long as there is no animals around me bothering me, once I get in the rhythm, you can just
That
go.
is so cute. Oh.
It's my first time trying a character.
Okay.
Like I can't read regular crocheting instructions.
Okay.
So I have to kind of make my own patterns. And so I make them with little blocks. And I've used this smaller block before, but just in like squares and stuff.
Okay.
So this is the first time I'm actually doing or attempting to do a figure.
Very cool.
Do you make the smaller block and then just connect them all together at the end kind of thing? Or
no, I go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. When I did the smaller ones like that before, I think at one point I had about 21 balls of wool attached.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Then it gets too complicated.
Ooh.
When I change color, it stays with.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I've got 3 balls attached right now on this one.
Which sounds complicated to me.
If ever, Crystal, you want to learn the crochet pattern stuff, I did not learn it until my 34. Then I learned how to read them. So if you ever want to learn and want to have somebody help you and give you their little tricks on it, just let me know.
I've tried to follow a pattern. It took me about 5 hours to figure out a pattern for mittens and write it into what I could understand. Mm-hmm. And I still screwed it up. Mm-hmm. So then I
Once
just
you get
the way it's supposed to look and figured it out from there and got it right.
Yeah. Once you get the abbreviations down, it becomes easier. So I literally had a sheet of abbreviations that I was just constantly every day learning for about 6 months. And then I was able to follow through with the pattern.
But I have fun with the ones that I do. Yeah. You're on my Facebook. Go check out my album things I've made. And
I'm
you'll
opening
see
it now so I remember when I come back to my computer later.
And you'll see what I can do with squares.
Plant Freak, or I should say Stasia, I have to do the exact same thing. I open, and the problem is I use one tab because otherwise I have like 150 tabs open. And then, so I open up a tab for everything I'm supposed to look at, and I'm not always very good at going back to look at them.
So here's my current problem. I've taken, I have the access for needing a meeting. If Carol needs the meeting started, I have a specific restream link that I go into. So my one email is all linked to needing a meeting stuff. My other email is all of my personal stuff. And now I have a Conversations with Christy one that's all connected to Conversations with Christy that have like the design softwares and things put on it. So now I have like 3 Google Chrome buttons at the bottom for each email open. And then each one of those has like 10 tabs.
I've done that too. I also tend to have Chrome, Firefox, and sometimes because I use a Mac, Safari. Or, something Duck, whatever that one is. Or there's Epic. Yes, you can have all of those different browsers open with multiple different. Oh, yeah. Or.
Yeah, that sounds like my kind of brain.
DuckDuckGo, yeah.
Yes, thank you. You can also in Google delegate, and maybe I shouldn't admit that I'm doing this because it's really not that great security-wise. But one of my Google accounts is linked to one of the others so that I can open up my main one, but it opens up my secondary one as well with another tab. I don't have to. I'm delegating it to, just so I don't have to open you.
See, I should probably learn how to do that, but you know what? It's kind of good that I've got like 3 different Chrome things open at the bottom that I don't have like, here's all of the things I'm trying to like navigate for personal life. Here's all of the things that I'm trying to like navigate for entertainment or like for video editing, you know what I mean? So everything's in different tabs now, and I've gotten used to, okay, this email is this email is this.
Well, if you decide you want to do that, it still opens up separate tabs, but I can show you, it's really easy to delegate. Just let me know.
Perfect.
If you decide you want to do it.
Yeah.
If not, no worries.
I'll let you know. There we go. Open. Haha. There, I found it. It's open. I'll remember to go to it now. I don't know if I ended up showing you guys the blanket that I made for Rowan, but he calls it his Minecraft blanket. I did not intend for it to look like a Minecraft blanket. And actually, Cosmic said the same thing. She goes, oh, it looks like Minecraft blocks. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if he's going to see it that way too. And he did. So I don't know if I showed you guys.
Nope.
I love it so much.
Yes,
That's awesome.
That is amazing. So beautiful.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy.
Wow.
But it's just a little bit smaller than a single size bed. So it's just enough to kind of like lay on top or lay on a couch with it to be like a little person. So
it's awesome.
I love it.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I use it sometimes.
Good.
Yeah.
I should
Right
go.
now,
No, go ahead. I was just gonna say I should go feed my cat. She's sitting here looking at me with judgment in her eyes.
DJ, stop judging mom.
She's still there.
I tried to help. Sorry, Rebecca.
So I should go do that because it's getting later. Okay, make some dinner. But thank you all very, very much. I appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
And I love everyone in the chat, even though I was not watching the chat at all today. Love you guys. Good night.
love you too.
Love you too. Good night, Rebecca.
Love you.
I'm going to hop off too, but I echo everything Rebecca just said. I appreciate you all being here and listening and sharing and all the things.
If you need any ideas on how to help with the situation, I have a lot of theoretical, understanding now. So if there's any suggestions that I could potentially have, just reach out to me, honey.
Thank you. I appreciate
You're
that.
very welcome.
Okay, everyone. I'll see you later.
Okay.
Take care of yourself. Love you.
Thanks. You too. Love you too.
Yeah, I should probably take off and get something to eat. I didn't have a snack when I got home. So. Love you guys.
Like a plan.
Love you too, Crystal. Have a good night.
So am I still freezing?
No, you're a bit better now.
Okay, because it on my end, you guys were freezing.
Okay. For us, it was the opposite.
So yeah.
Yeah.
The computer started overheating because the sun started shining directly on it.
Oh yeah.
And I started overheating too, if you can't tell. Oh, what are we gonna do? This air conditioner thing being broken is not gonna
no.
work.
No, I don't think a summer is going to be able to be made like that. I'm sorry.
No
I'm
way.
sorry.
I mean, it's already here on an 80-degree day and I'm roasting. Ugh.
Yeah, now imagine midsummer.
Whoo, no way.
Yeah. What does your shirt say? It says farm something. I just can't see the bottom of it.
Farm hair.
Oh my God, I love it. Love
it. Yeah, when I saw that on the clearance rack at Tractor Supply, I'm like, oh yeah, that one's coming home with me.
Yeah, it's needed. It's just full on needed. Well, I'm gonna say goodnight myself. I should probably try and get some food into me too.
Right on.
And one more meeting today. Well, 2 house meetings a week now. So the second one for the week and tonight, and then I'm done for the week.
Right on.
Yeah. So I love you. I'll talk to you later. Good night, everybody else. I love you too. Bye.
Bye. You guys, this was so much fun. I love them all, but I love them when they're fun. A lot. We need that. We need fun. We need laughter. It really does, I believe, make the world go round. Let's keep it spinning in the best possible way. I love you guys. Hope to see you again soon. I'm going to get my little outro cue up here. Hope to see you again next meeting. If it's going to cue, are you going to cue? Yes, you are. That's very special. All right, you guys. I love ya. See you soon. Peace, y'all.